Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I am joined by one of wrestling's hottest free agents, the go-getter, formerly known as Jakara Jackson. She is Mara Sadè. How are you doing today?
Amazing today. Thank you. How are you?
I am so good to be catching up with you, Miss Ma'am. You, like I said, are one of the hottest things in pro wrestling right now. I
Yeah.
have to imagine, have had a whirlwind of a last 30 plus days. So, tell us what this last 30 plus days has looked like for you as you've prepared to become a free agent.
These last 30 days have been absolutely wild, to be honest. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm in the name, I'm a go-getter, so I'm never gonna be sitting down doing nothing. So literally for the past 30 days, I've been getting my ducks in a row. I've been grinding. I've been working hard in the background just to prepare for the end of the 30 days, which is today. I don't know when this is going to air, but like the June 1st, basically. So I've just been doing a lot of things in the background to prepare for this time because this is a whole rebrand for me and it's exciting, to be honest. So I'm really happy to be doing whatever the hell it is on my plate that I'm gonna be doing. So just a lot of stuff, a lot of things in the past 30 days.
Yeah, before we get even into wrestling, obviously you're going to be continuing. We already have a few matches and appearances lined up for you, but I'm so curious because you have a background in modeling, both runway and print. So, do you have plans or hopes to do more modeling related projects in your free agency now?
Yes, most certainly. I am quite honestly the Renaissance woman. Like I do a lot of things.
You
I
do.
love public speaking. I want to get into acting like I've mentioned before. I love wrestling and modeling is just my cup of tea. It's been my cup of tea. So like that's easy work. But so many things.
Yeah, and I've been seeing you've been teasing some painting projects potentially. Like you are literally a jack of all trades, my
Yes.
friends. Like we've been seeing you painting, drawing, doing music. Painting wise, like do you have plans to like do some more artwork and all of that too? We've seen a couple teasers on Instagram I've seen.
Yes, so I most certainly love the arts, and I have some really big things in the works with that, which is exciting. And like you said, music, I'm just a creative being. I love creating, and I'm happiest when I'm doing that. So anything that has to do with me getting my hands on it and making something, I'm all for it.
Now I'm curious because in your teaser that at the time of recording this yesterday was you posted your teaser, you said that you are the muse. But I'm curious when it comes to your own artwork and creative mind, where do you look to for inspo? Who are your muses?
I love this question. So, I definitely take art from what I like. So
Yeah.
a lot of my things are like nature. I love nature. I've done some really beautiful pieces of like waterfalls, but then also I'm super inspired by like my friends, my people, my fellow wrestlers. So I don't want to say too much because there's surprises and I want
Okay.
to like unveil them, but I'm very much inspired by the culture, which wrestling culture, by musical culture. Whatever it is that like I'm interested in, I'm gonna take a piece of that and throw it in my concept, but also put my own, vibes onto it.
Yeah, and I know you've done some photography work, so hopefully we get to see you continue that. Even though, like you said, you've said before, my good friend Justin at the Wrestling Classic, I was listening to that. You
Yes,
maybe don't always get credited, so maybe there's some photography out there that we don't know is from you. Um,
exactly. No, let me tell you, a lot of the girls in the NXT locker room, a bunch of those hot photos you see,
yeah,
your girl was behind the lens, okay? I'm gonna put that out there. But I love anything creative, like I said, even photography.
yeah. Yeah, so hopefully we get to see you continue that. Obviously, we'll see you continuing in the ring. Before we get to that, to speaking of creativity, your creativity came alive recently in Las Vegas. I know you and Lash Legend arrived to Las Vegas as Las Vegas showgirls. I loved
Yeah.
that gear, by the way. This beautiful green with the head and neck pieces and the feathers. It was so beautiful. So I'm curious in the ring gear department, maybe music is some of it, but where do you normally look to for inspiration when you're crafting and envisioning your ring gears?
Most certainly. Music is a big part of my inspiration, and I've gathered a lot of that from like 90s vibes. The
Yeah.
group CLC, Aaliyah, of course. Janet Jackson's a huge inspiration for me as well. Um, just in terms of the fact that you can be badass and sexy all in one, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, I guess when it came to my pants, for example, I was definitely looking at the landscape to see what was different, what people weren't doing. And I was like, I don't see joggers. Yes, you see chaps, but like, of
Yeah.
course, we're gonna show a little skin, but like, I was just inspired by the baggy look with pockets and like that urban type of vibe. And then, of course, you want to show off your best assets. So the rest fell into place.
Yeah, it's definitely I love maybe it's I feel like it's your maybe most iconic gear, but the bright yellow, like just but like the pants, like they're so cool and like
Thank
I feel
you.
like you don't see that a lot. Yeah, a lot of it looks like, like I love the strappy pieces, but like you said, like that urban influence is just like really laid back and cool. Is it as comfortable as it looks? I'm curious too.
Oh, most certainly. I'm great in the ring. I feel good in my gear. Like that's a big part of it too, comfort and security for sure for the ladies, security.
Absolutely, too. You might as well look cool and have comfort at the same time. You've
Yes.
certainly mastered that. And we mentioned Las Vegas. Your last match under the WWE banner was at Las Vegas at Stand and Deliver, which is kind of full circle for you, my friend, because your foot kind of in the door of wrestling was your tryout in Las Vegas a few years ago. So tell us about the emotions and significance heading into an at Stand and Deliver for you.
It was absolutely, like you said, a full circle moment for me because I had been signed maybe 3.5 years previously. And that is exactly where my journey started. And I have stories from then to like now. And then it's cool to just be back in that place where it all started. You know what I'm saying? Um, and to see the progress in which um, I had been through up until that point. So it was a really cool moment. And I had people out there that supported me in the audience. So I was, you know, overwhelmed with emotions, to be honest. It was a very beautiful moment. And I was there with my girl Lash. So I couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously have to talk about Lash Legend. You've had some, I have to imagine, great memories on screen, but also behind the scenes. So, what are some of your favorite or fond metaphor slash Lash Legend memories, both in the ring and behind the scenes?
Oh my goodness. I love the questions you're asking. Um, Literally so many. We have too many, but I think some of my favorites are just whenever we would go get our nails did and we would just, share the tea and like express our ideas on what we wanted to do next. And especially when it came to gear, because she's just as much of a fashion icon,
Oh, yeah.
what I'm saying is myself. So it was just fun to just be in her presence because she's such a beautiful personality and such an aura. So anytime being with her, even like we go on our brunches. I love us some brunches, mimosas and some amazing metaphor moments. I would definitely have to say when we were sitting right there in the Meta Lounge, to be honest, because, behind the scenes, we're just being us and chilling together. And Oro's amazing. Noam's freaking hilarious. Like, this guy is crazy in all the best ways. But so many good memories. I couldn't even pinpoint a direct one because there's just too many. But even traveling with Lash, we have so many stories.
Yeah. Do you have one that you might be able to tell us on the road, a traveling story that won't get you in trouble?
Right. One time it was Lash and I traveling, I believe, back home from a TNA taping. And, you know, we're just having fun. She gets through TSA first, and I come through what is that? The
Pre-check?
metal detector.
Oh,
Yeah,
metal. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
metal detector thing where you have to put your hands up and whatever. So all of a sudden I'm going off and it's saying like there's something in my arm area, like, and I was like, oh, it must be my guns. And then Lash looks at me with huge eyes. She's like, oh, and I like as it was leaving my mouth, I was like, oh. And like the TSA woman looked at me too, but like I don't know if she totally caught it, but no, she knew I didn't mean it like that because our faces told everything. But like
Yeah.
we're just standing there like, what did you just say, bro? Like, why would you say that? I couldn't tell you. It was funny because it was the fact that, you know, I have guns. I do. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But it was just the wrong place, wrong time. But it
You're
was the
like,
funniest thing ever because we walked away just dying because that could have been bad. And she's like, girl, if they would have took you away, I couldn't do nothing for you. And I'm like,
they would have been like, where's Jakara? Oh, yeah, about that.
she got taken off for not watching her mouth.
You're like, biceps. I mean, biceps.
Biceps, my God.
Oh
But no,
my.
it was hilarious.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot of great memories, and obviously, I assume that's going to continue even, even though your paths have diverted a little
Oh,
bit. But I'm curious, obviously before your kind of send off, there was a little bit of a breakup, you all going your own separate ways. Lash, we've been seeing the early steps of Lash's singles run. What are your hopes for her in this singles run and thoughts on her kind of setting out now on her own?
to be honest, I hope that it's everything that she could ever want because she deserves it. Um, Everybody's seen like our growth together, but just looking at her as an individual star, she's come such a long way. And I'm always going to be cheering and rooting for my sister for real because we just had each other's backs in there, and I'm always going to have her back, whether we together or not. And that's that's something that'll never change. I hope that she grabs the title. I hope that she does get called up. I hope that all the best of things happen for her because she's such a blessing and she deserves it. And she works hard. Look at her. There's nobody like Lash Legend. So I'm just
I
saying.
know. I know she is a powerhouse, a fashionable, stylish powerhouse. Like
Exactly.
she like just the whole package.
The whole
It's that
package.
meta girl mindset. I have to ask. I see this meta girl mindset is an attitude. It's knowing that despite all the odds, you're above it all. So I have to ask,
Right.
are you going to be bringing that meta girl mindset now in your free agency?
Most certainly. Like, I just believe that experiences happen for a reason and you should learn from them. And being in Meta-Four and being a meta girl, like I've taken a lot from that. And I feel like it's something to build off of. Although, Miss Jackson is no more, she's in the past, I definitely have learned from her for real. Like, um, and I most certainly am gonna take little teeny bits of the past and bring it to the future and reinvent that and explore more of what that is.
Yeah, now I'm curious. We talked a little bit about ring gear and all of that. What else can we expect from Mara Sadè in ring wise and looks wise going forward?
Listen, when I tell you I'm about to pop out, I'm about to pop out. When it comes to the ring gear, it's still going to be on point, better than before. When it comes to the in-ring ability, listen, when I tell you I'm hungry, I'm starving to, like I said in my vignette, I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I'm here to prove to myself that I can do, you know what I'm saying, can do the most and be the best at this. Because anything I do, I'm going to put my all into, and point blank period, I'm not ever going to sleep on myself. So just expect big things from your girl, whether it's in the fashion department, in the ring, or outside. I'm out here.
Now, I do have to say, one of the noticeable changes we can see right now, I'm gonna miss your ginger hair, girl. I love the blonde. Ginger was just always iconic. So tell us about your decision to now go blonde.
So, yes, the ginger was definitely a fave, and I definitely believe it helped me pop out or
Oh,
stand out.
absolutely.
Um, but like I said, going into this new chapter, I just wanted a fresh start and I wanted to just reinvent myself. And to be honest, I mean, we kind of all do when we feel like we're transitioning, we change our hair. So, um, the blonde was just inspired by the fact that I saw this look. Again, I was inspired online Um, I have this really amazing wig maker down in Miami. Shout out to Rich Girl. She literally has been the one to hook up the looks since the jump. But I saw this beautiful wig and I was like, it just spoke to me. I literally go off my intuition with a lot of things, and like that just it was speaking to me, and it felt right. So it's blonde, blonde it is.
I'm here for it. I feel like you could rock anything, to be honest.
Thank you.
Like you're just a beautiful meta girl, you know? So
Thank
you
you.
can absolutely rock anything. Now, I'm curious, as you're setting out, we've obviously seen you've been preparing at the dungeon with Natalya and TJ Wilson. What has your experience been like training there, and what are some things that you've learned from those two and everybody around there?
To be honest, I've learned so much already, and I'm so thankful to be in the situation I'm in and to be able to train with TJ and Natty because I mean they're amazing. Natty's the goat, you know what I'm saying? The boat, excuse me. But to be training with her has been so like eye-opening, and I just feel already like I'm learning so much that I never knew before. And I believe people say this all the time, but you're never going to stop learning. So just to hear her and her experiences, and even hearing her stories about how it was in NWA was just inspiring, and her entire story. And I've been following Natty since Total Divas for real. So
Yeah.
to be training with her is a dream. Um, and even the tips that TJ gives, like it just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm learning things I did not know before because I only knew PC training, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
the amazing coaches that I had there. But to be getting this new experience, I feel like it's really good for me. And especially because like I said, I'm looking to tear shit up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking to tear it down. Looking to take over. And this is certainly, I believe, a great run in the right direction.
Could you give us an example of whether it's in ring wise, psychology, character that you've really has stuck out to you from learning from TJ or Natty?
I'd say in ring wise, everything can be so simple, and I think that's something that they've, um, ironed into me. You can do whatever you want as long as you put that intensity behind it. And I guess in ring, something specific they've um, shared with me that I felt really stuck to me was Natty likes to say, you got to find that fuck you. Excuse my language. But
All good.
truly, like, I mean, the beauty of wrestling is the art of like selling and emotions, to be honest. And if you can find that, I feel like you've won in the entirety of it because emotions, people want to feel.
Yeah.
So you can find that F you, you're good.
I know, especially for me and a lot of people, I was drawn in because of the escapism and the emotions and the selling. Like, yeah, of course,
Oh,
like there's a lot of in-ring stuff is all cool, but like I feel like at
yeah,
least for me, maybe for you, I was drawn in from the emotions and the storytelling and the escapism,
yeah.
surrounding it.
I love the storytelling when it comes to wrestling, and that's probably the entertainment factor as well. Like, yes, to be honest, I feel like anybody can learn how to wrestle. It's,
Yeah.
physical, it's like a sport. But if you can add all the other aspects that make it what it is, I think that's the beauty, and that's what attracts the fans, what attracts like anybody to wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's physical, but it's also mental, and there's psychology, there's character,
Yes,
there's
yes,
all these different layers. It's like a performance art.
yes.
There's that performance aspect to it. And I feel like you've definitely got the looks down the in-ring wise, and obviously we're looking forward to what stories you're going to tell now as Mara Sadè. Um, you mentioned obviously besides TJ and Natty, you've had a really I feel like unique experience that not a lot of people have had being both NXT and like you floated main roster a lot. I feel like a lot of people don't have that, especially 3 years into their career. And obviously you're surrounded by a lot of veterans. So I'm so curious, besides Natty, of course, who are some of your mentors between NXT and the main roster?
Oh my goodness. It was right. It's been a very crazy ride, but some people that have really helped all this along was Nia Jax. Like she's amazing to talk to. Um, Bianca was an amazing, like she definitely has this leader type aura
Yeah.
that's really respectable. Naomi, I had to have some really amazing conversations with her. Like again, grew up watching her too on Total Divas.
Yeah.
Let me see, because anytime I can pick somebody's brain, I'm gonna pick it. So I've had a chat with Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes. My goodness, I'm trying to think. Those are just a couple of them. There's so many more, but those are the main ones that I can remember.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if anything came out of it, but we were talking about full circle moments. This year, Dwayne The Rock Johnson appeared at NXT New Year's Evil. You've obviously previously competed on Titan Games. It's kind of how maybe they first noticed you. He hosted that. Did you have a chance to reunite with him backstage and all that night? You're one of his former Titans, so I hope so, but I don't
Oh,
know.
unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Because of course, like you already know, if I have the chance, and I
Yeah.
do remember it was WrestleMania in Philly, and when he popped up and he was riding around on a golf cart, and I was trying, but like it's just a busy day, and
Yeah.
so that could have been it, but like no, I wish I could have, but sadly no.
Well, you have been a part of some of the same weekends he has been, so it's a little bit of full circle, but
A little bit, but we
we
need
need that
that.
true reunion, you know?
I agreed.
I'm so curious, as somebody who's grown up watching Total Divas, and then I know you were inspired by like Jacqueline and obviously Bianca. Have you found yourself kind of starstruck in the locker room at all? Because there's a lot of legends coming in, especially during a WrestleMania weekend. Have you ever had that feeling while you were still trying to work your way through NXT, kind of starstruck at all?
So for sure, like there's definitely those stars that you're just like, and of course The Rock was one, but when it comes like Jacqueline, so a friend of mine WrestleMania weekend went and got her to make a shout out video to me. I freaked out. Like I freaked out and I really wish I could have met her in person. That is still yet to happen. And yes, that'll be a moment for me that I will geek out. But even meeting Bianca, like she's such an amazing woman and she's so kind. I just remember after our first match is whenever emotions started to flood in because
Yeah.
I just know myself and I'm very honed in and focused when it leading up to, whatever it is I'm going into. And then after is when I have a chance to feel more and like really be present in the moment and be like, I'm literally having my dream match with Bianca Belair. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I'd say those are the two people that I've most geeked out over.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've had the fortune of wrestling Bianca a few times, especially when the women's tag team titles are on the line. I feel like you guys have had at least four, maybe five women's tag team title matches, and we were so rooting for you, but it just like
Yeah.
never like the stars just weren't aligned. I don't know, at least finalized wise. Were there ever, if you can tell us anyway, were there ever plans for you guys to win the tag team titles at any point? You've had a lot of opportunities and we thought it was going to happen. It just didn't.
There was, of course, there are those times when you feel like it's going to happen, but things change in the background constantly
Yeah.
to the point where, you know, you just have to quite literally. I think one of the things that Bianca actually told me was you never know up until you walk out when you hear that entrance music. Anything can change up until that point. So I'm gonna say like there were times we definitely thought, but things change all the time.
That is true. Well, hopefully, in this time, you get some championship gold. I will say you will be already vying for a world championship looking ahead in your free agency. It's been announced is a first-time matchup, which I'm really excited for. TNA's Masha Slamovich will be
Yeah.
defending the JCW World Championship against you on July 6th. What are your thoughts heading into this matchup against Masha and also possibly claiming the first singles title of your career?
So, like I said, my goal is to get gold. And when
Absolutely.
I tell you I'm gonna put everything out there, and not only am I gonna show the world what Mara Sadè brings to the table, but Masha is most certainly a competitor that is gonna bring out a side of me that I welcome, that I want to show the world. So I'm excited, and I know she's gonna put her best foot forward, and I am too. And it's gonna be a battle for real. So I'm excited.
Me too. And obviously, Masha has ties to TNA. You've been in the same locker room as her, but
Yes.
never really went face to face or toe to toe until now. You've wrestled, like we said, in TNA a handful of times. What was your experience like in the TNA locker room through this partnership with WWE?
It was cool. Literally, like I said, all I knew was the PC life, really.
Yeah,
And I did not come from the indies beforehand. So to be going there and just to see a different side of wrestling, it was awesome in my opinion, and it was cool. So I appreciated the freedom. I loved the creativity we could put into it. Like, that's fun to me. That makes wrestling fun. Um, not to say I was having fun in WWE, but like, it's just so much more hands-on. And I love that. And I need that. And I feel like that's where I'm going to thrive. So that's one of the things about this new chapter that I'm super excited about is the freedom to do whatever.
yeah, and you have the freedom to do whatever. You have the freedom to go wherever. Is TNA something you might be? Because technically, your last match, like period, was TNA.
Right.
Do you have interest in returning to TNA at all?
Most certainly, and I don't want to put too much out there, but there are most certainly a lot of things in the works, and I don't want to reveal until it's time to, but definitely have my eyes on TNA. I would love to go to Japan. Um, Definitely wherever I can thrive, that's where I want to be.
Absolutely. And we look forward to that. As you're looking ahead now, you mentioned Japan, TNA, there's a lot of free agents out there. Who are
Uh,
some competitors that you maybe have your eye on locking up with in this next chapter?
Most certainly, there's so many. I definitely want to. Athena would be amazing to go up against. She's a beast. Like her. Um, Willow would be so fun. Indy, Elena Black, um, Maya World. I'd love to. I'm just trying to think of some more. Those are just a few for sure that I'd love to get in the ring with.
I've talked with Maya actually a couple months ago, and I mean, I guess you guys have corresponded, and like we were wanting like a tag team title match at some point.
I
Maybe
recall
not,
that.
we might not get that, but singles match now, Mara Sadè versus Maya World is a real possibility.
Most certainly a real possibility. So we'll see.
We'll have to see. You mentioned championship gold. What are some of your other personal and professional goals for this next chapter, too?
Personal goals, I definitely just want to build my brand. Mara Sade is a brand, and I want to build that up for myself, whether that's being in movies. Again, I love public speaking. Like, I want to be a voice for people don't know this about me, but like I'm a very big advocate for domestic violence. I want to, do charity and help with that. I want to start my own business. Um, there's so many things that I want to dabble in that so excited for this chapter because, like I said, the sky's the limit at this point. But those are just a few.
You mentioned music, making music. Obviously, theme songs, wrestling music is a big thing. Do you have
Thank
plans
you.
to create your own new theme song for this new chapter? And if so, what do you think the vibes will be like?
So that's another thing that most certainly was in the works during these past 30 days. So I can't wait to share that little surprise. But that's all I'm going to say there. But yes,
Okay.
the music has been, it's been being made, and I'm excited to share with the world this new entrance song for sure.
Mm, I don't know. Could you give us a little teaser of like a vibe, like upbeat, like
Oh
rocky?
yeah,
That's like what I meant, like
the
vibes or
vibe.
like
Okay.
sound wise. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
vibes.
the
Like
vibe
rocky,
is
upbeat, like
definitely.
I don't know.
I'd say, how do I describe this vibe?
Yeah.
It's definitely upbeat.
Okay.
It's definitely, listen, it's gonna have the people chanting, okay? Like it's definitely gonna get people up out their seats, and people are gonna be surprised, I think, because I don't believe anybody's truly heard my voice before. And so
Oh.
when they see this other side of me, I think it's gonna be lit. And it's a bop. It's a bop. That's what I'm gonna say.
So you're telling me that we're gonna hear your actual voice in this theme song.
Most certainly.
I'm curious, like what is your extent, like what is your background in music? Like is it like singing? Is it instruments? Like what is the extent of your background in music? Because that is so awesome. Like not a lot of people are able to do that.
I appreciate you. I've been around music all my life for sure, but I'd say that most recently it's really started to spark up just because of the
Okay.
connects I've been able to make.
Yeah.
But a really big motivator in this process was my bestie, Nikita Lyons, because she's an amazing artist, musical
Yeah.
artist. And so she was definitely somebody who really, really inspired me to get into it and, you know, dabble a little more. And so one thing led to another, and here we are. And again, I'm a creative being. So
Yeah.
anything where I can create, I'm on top of the world.
Legit question. Is there anything that like you can't do or that you're bad at? Because I'm just like you like literally can do everything. I feel like is there anything you can't do? That's a legit question.
I've never been the one to limit myself. So, but if I had to say, I'd have to say I'm bad at making cookies. For some reason, they always burn.
You know what? There's worse things, and we don't want you to burn anything down. So no, that might not be a bad thing, you know?
It's
You can
probably not.
you can
But
always do
that's
store
probably
bought, you know, or you can have
exactly.
somebody else make them for you. Take a little break. Have somebody make cookies for you.
Exactly.
That's so
Exactly.
funny. Couple more
Um,
questions for you. You know, you've had such an interesting journey because, like I said, you've like literally done everything. You went started from fitness, and obviously modeling, then Titan Games, and then wrestling. How would you say you've grown as a person and as a competitor and professionally through your work in WWE and in wrestling so far?
I feel like my growth has been so extensive because I think of my life in chapters really.
Yeah,
So I guess starting from I want to say 20, let's just start in 2019. But from that moment, I won overall and in my class bodybuilding
yeah,
for Musclemania, and that was a huge confidence boost that led into me um, having the courage to do Titan Games, in which I made it out of 100 or so people being selected for that. That was something that, fueled my fire for the next thing, which was WWE. From when I first started not knowing a damn thing about wrestling to now, I feel like I'm a completely different person. And all of whether it was life lessons or lessons within the business, I never could have expected to learn all the things that I have, whether it's, you know, traveling and maintaining, you know, work and personal life, staying healthy and staying on top of my fitness with all of the work and, you know, wrestling, you get beat up. So you have to learn how to take care of your body. Mentally, I've learned how to adapt and take care of myself. Um, so I feel like my growth has been great, very great. And I feel like I'm still growing, to be honest. And I love this question just because like I'm always growing. I feel like every single year of my life I've elevated. And that's what I expect the trajectory, can't talk. And that's what I expect the trajectory of it to continue to be. So it's been a wild ride to be honest, but I've learned and I've grown so much and I'm looking forward to growing more.
You've done, like I said before, you've done so much in 3 years that like not a lot of people like have, the main roster exposure, but also like continuing to learn in NXT and work with a bunch of veterans and also like be on like a main roster pay-per-view as a
Yeah.
technically in NXT, like you have had a unique journey thus far, and obviously we're looking forward to seeing that continue now out in the free agency market. So, final question, tell us about some of your upcoming projects and appearances that we can check out. What are you going to be doing in the next few months that you can tell us
Yes,
about
most
anyway?
certainly. So I actually, like you guys already know, I have the match in July with Masha coming up. I'm also going to be at River City WrestleCon coming
Yes.
Saturday. Um, I also have something else in the works that is confirmed, but again, something that I'm gonna unveil to everybody.
Yeah.
Um, what else do we have planned? A bunch of photo shoots, of course, because we got to stay on point with that. I also have a website coming very soon so that people, my fans, can still stay in touch with me and, support. Um, what else we got going on? So much, but those are just a few.
Okay. Well, we look forward to that. And before we let you go, please let the listeners know where they can find you online and support you.
Most certainly. You can find me on YouTube at It's Mara Sadè. You can find me on Instagram at It's Mara Sadè and on X at It's Mara Sadè and TikTok say Sadè.
Oh, we look forward to more TikTok content too. That's
We
those are
love
always
TikTok,
fun. We
of
do.
course.
Well, Mara, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And honestly, we are looking forward to this next chapter and literally wrestling and beyond. She is literally doing everything, my friends, just not making cookies. So if you see her, maybe bring her some cookies to save her the
Exactly.
time. So there we go. Mara Sade, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.